Welcome to us. Click the circles.
So, I started playing OC 10 years ago, and my first few days of playing the game were very normal. I played in the multi with some friends, played some 1 and 2 star maps, just trying to complete them, and just trying to improve as much as I could. Though, somewhere along the line, I remember getting recommended this video on YouTube, the Impossible Osu song. I mean, how hard could it be? I was already playing hard difficulties, so this can't be that hard. Wait, what? That was the point when I realized just how difficult this game was. Before this, I felt pretty good about my progression and being able to play hard difficulties, but now they just look laughably easy in comparison. And I became pretty obsessed with just watching these top scores on YouTube and just imagining what it would be like to be able to play these maps. Now, coming back to the current day, I'm top 300 on the global rankings. And now, when I look back, all the scores I thought were just impossible, they suddenly seem a lot more doable. And it had me thinking, could I, with my current skill, surpass these players who I once believed were completely inhuman? So today, I'm gonna be going back in time, sort of. I'm gonna go back to 2014 to start with and see if I could get number 1 on the old global rankings. And obviously that means that I can't play any maps that were ranked after 2014, as that wouldn't be fair. You also couldn't skin out slider ends in this year, so I'm gonna be playing with those as well. Shout out to the PP Rework website that has a list of all the historical PP systems. They say it's probably not 100% accurate, but this is as close as we can get. You also might be wondering, why 2014? Didn't this game come out in 2007? Why would I not just start there? Well, before 2014, there was actually no real competitive leaderboard. It was mostly just who could submit the most scores on the most maps, which didn't sound very interesting. Though back in 2012, PPV1 got released, but unfortunately this system has pretty much been lost to time, and it also wasn't very accurate. If you'd like an explanation on the old system, Willie made a very good video about it, so I'll link that in the description if you're curious. So can I, 10 years later, dethrone all these players? Well, let's find out. So in 2014, the number 1 spot traded a lot between HVIC225, Sayonara Bai, and Ruruchi, easily the best free players at the time. Well, apart from that one guy who got himself banned. Anyways, by the end of the year, it was HVIC225 at the number 1 spot with a total of 8,864 PP. I started off by downloading all of the maps from his top plays and just playing through them to see what type of scores I could get. The first map I tried out was an old map set of Best Friends, which I managed to full combo in my first attempt. Okay. I then moved on to a map called Diamond, which was released all the way back in September of 2013, and was considered extremely easy for how much PP it gave. So with that in mind, I shouldn't really struggle with this at all. Right? Fuck. Oh my god. Dude, why do I keep choking the ending? Oh my god. Okay, so maybe that was a bit harder than I expected, but hey, I did FC it and got a whole 460 PP for my efforts, so it was well worth it. I played for around an hour more, mostly just setting scores in the mid to high 300 range, which this early on still gave me a lot of PP. I also managed to get another 400 on this map called Fantastic Future, which had a pretty hard speed section, but overall was pretty easy. I made it up to 2,658 PP, which put me a little above top 6,000, which is honestly pretty crazy considering that PP amount doesn't even get you top 300,000 nowadays. I started off day 2 by trying out a map called Pensamento Tipico de Esquerda Caviar?
Pensamento típico de esquerda caviar.
This map had the potential to give over 600 PP for a full combo. Seeing as I didn't even have a 500, this seemed pretty ambitious, so let's see how that went. Oh my god. I need like a practice tip for that because I'm so mind blocked. I don't understand. It's possible. It's so hard though. Wow, Timus is quite good. 1/100. Damn. Yeah, that's the best run I got after 40 minutes of attempts, so safe to say that was just not happening. But at least that run was worth just under 400, which still gives me quite a lot, so I'll take it. I honestly was getting pretty tired after grinding out that map, so I was thinking about just getting off, but before that, there was one map I really wanted to attempt. Remote Control, map by Garvin all the way back in 2012, was the top play of every player in the top 3, so I knew I had to give it some attempts. You'd think this map had to be really easy based on what I just said, right? However, it has a lot of really awkward triples at the start, and the aim is really not that comfortable, and even by today's standards, an FC on this is not that easy. So you might be wondering, how was this everyone's top play? And that's simply because it was the only map of its kind. Nowadays we have so much choice for aim maps specifically made for DT, with the most hyper-optimized patterns, but back then the choices were extremely limited, and this was really the only map with jumps this space that was still playable on DT. So I started my attempts on the map, and it got off to a pretty bad start, with me missing a lot in the intro because of these fucking triples. And every time I get a combo pass there, I would just miss on the midsection. Dude, why? So yeah, I was getting pretty frustrated and was pretty much ready to give up. But I knew how doable the map was. Even if I could just get a combo to the ending, it would still be worth a lot because of combo scaling. So that's what I was going for, and I gave it a few more tries and got this. Oh my god, let's go. Yes. That's a good score. Wow, I really was not expecting to actually FC it. That's an insanely good score to end off the session, and it's worth a whole 529 PP, bringing me up to just over 3,500. Now, before moving on to the next day, there's one thing I want to talk about, and that's just how much harder it was to get high PP scores. Now, that might sound obvious, of course it's going to be harder, because there's less maps, but I really did not expect it to be this extreme. The fact that a 500 PP score already felt like my limit when my top play in the modern era is almost double of that, really goes to show just how limited the map selection was. And this is also back in an era where maps weren't specifically designed for PP, which I'm sure is an absolutely crazy concept to players nowadays. And it definitely didn't help that most maps were getting nerfed by upwards of 100 PP. Anyways, all of this is just to say that the top players of this era are a lot more skilled than some people actually give them credit for. Now the third day started off really well, with me getting a high 400 PP score on this map called Gimme Gimme, which is primarily tapping focused, so it actually really surprised me it was worth this much, seeing as tapping was super undervalued in this old system. I got a few more low 400s, and I also played a map called Hoshizora no Ime, which was a map that was pretty much synonymous with HVIC 225 back in the day. I didn't really think it'd be too hard to FC, as it's mostly just aim, but I think I underestimated it a bit. Oh my god. Bro. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, so after all those chokes, I just gave up on that for now and focused on grinding away at all the TV size maps I downloaded. And I managed to climb over 2000 PP in around an hour and made it up to 5800 PP. By this point, I'm a little over 3000 PP short of the #1 spot, but I also felt like I pretty much played through every single map I had, so I had the idea to literally go and mass download every single TV size map I could find that was over 4 stars for tomorrow. I spent at least 3 hours this day just going through all the TV size maps I downloaded the night before, and it was going pretty well. I was managing to FC most of them in just a few tries, but that all changed when I came to this map. Pinky fucking Jones. I genuinely don't know what it was about this map. In theory, it should have been so easy. The jumps weren't spaced, there weren't many bursts, and for the most part, the aim is pretty comfortable. But for some reason, I just couldn't do it. And I ended up spending over an hour on this stupid map until I finally managed to FC it. Okay. So after spending an hour of my life on this easy map and FCing it with pretty high accuracy, that's it, right? I'm done with it. I mean, there's nothing else I can do, unless, I don't know, for some reason I decided to grind it with hidden double time hard jog, which obviously I wasn't gonna do because of how long that took with just DT only, right? No. No, that was it. Oh my god, I had it. Fuck. Okay, so I'm not really sure why I decided to try and FC this, but I did get really close at least. But I never ended up getting it on that day, but did make it a little over 7000 PP. It was more of the same on the next day, just grinding out the TV size maps, and also some more free mod attempts on Pinky Jones, which went absolutely nowhere. So here's a compilation of all the scores from that day. by this point, I'm a little under 800 PP away from the goal, but I was also really determined to FC Finky Jones before ending off this challenge, so I grinded that out for an entire hour, and after a lot of chokes, I finally managed to get it. Let's go. Nice. That's a good score. Funnily enough, this wasn't even worth a whole lot more than my DT only score just because of the accuracy, so it really wasn't worth it in the end, but I do think it's a cool score, so I'm happy with the FCE. So today, I wanted to get this finished. I knew I could, I was under 500 PP away, and there were a few more maps I was thinking of giving a try. One of them was a short map set of Granat. The jumps were pretty awkward, but it was also worth a lot more PP than I thought it would be. So I gave it a few tries, and I managed to get my second 500 PP score. Fuck. After that, I went back to grinding out Hoshizora no Ime as I knew it was very doable, and after just 10 minutes, I managed to FC it. Getting extremely close now to the goal. I'm just under 200 PP away from number 1. So I just started spamming TV size map after TV size map, grinding away at every last map I could find, until about 2 hours later, I finally managed to get it with a really clean score on BBKKBKK. Wow, that's a good score. That's it. Come on, that's gotta be it. Surely. Please. No! Bro, I'm fucking at 3 PP away. Oh wait, sorry. I meant with this absolutely generational and groundbreaking score. GG. Oh my god, I got medal. Yo, let's go. Well, there you go. I officially would be the #1 player back in 2014. Honestly, as limited as the map selection was back then, I really do like the mapping style of these older maps, and it really forced me to set some scores that I never would have otherwise. Since you guys made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I'm planning on this being a series on my channel, though I'm really not sure how much further I can go with this. Between actually getting the #1 spot and editing, it was probably around 50 hours that went into this video, so yeah, don't expect the #1 too soon. And here is my final profile.